Hello everyone, this is Dale here, and we are going to talk about keybinding. If you're a level 85 anything, you can most likely cut off this video, because you know about keybinding already. Alright, keybinding is basically the control of World of Warcraft. It is basically mapping out the keyboard to fit your playstyle. So what may work for me may not work for you, but it's good to keep in mind of the basic premise of this video. Alright, my personal keybinding uses Q, W, E, R, F, G, Z, X, C, V as my attack bar, with 2 extra for things I don't use often, like Bloodlust or Heroism if you're Alliance Shaman. I mostly target with tab, mostly. There is some select occasions where I don't use tab, but I get to that when I'm going with the mouse. So, my rotation normally starts off with Q or R, depends on what I'm feeling at the moment, because sometimes I do it backwards. So, I only use Q as my main attack button, and T is my melee. So, if you're a caster, I think that's default. Correct me if I'm wrong. T is normally the attack button. Alright, for my enhancement shaman, I use Storm Strike as Q, Lava Blast as W, and then continue with my rotation, then Earthshot as E, and then continue my rotation using my various keybinding. So Q, W, E, R is my main offense, mostly. F and G is what I use occasionally before and after the battle. And Z, X, C, and V are normally used occasionally in battle. Kind of like those variables, like Thunderbolt with Maelstrom weapon. Not Thunderbolt, Lightning Bolt with Maelstrom weapon. Anyway, so you know, when remapping your control scheme, some things might have to change. Like R is normally used for re-whispering. Like if someone whispers, you whisper back. I changed that to 0 on the number pad, since I don't want to be using the number pad in mid-battle. Alright, to the mouse. Standard mouse. I normally use these 2 buttons to run. I don't know if that's common among people, but I think it is. I turn around by holding the R button, the right button, and swiveling the keyboard. Then I can turn around and run instantly. Instead of turning around with the arrows keys and then running. And you can loot stuff with R, the R button, as usual. And the left button is kind of for the left button is targeting as well. But I only use it if I'm targeting a specific enemy in a group of in a mob, such as a caster. Because normally you want to down them quickly as possible. At any rate, we are going to go to this in action, and I hope that it comes off helpful. Welcome back. You can access the keybinding by pressing the escape key, and then the keybinding button on the menu. From there, you can have various different keybinding. It should be one nearby called action bars, where you can change it to certain keys, such as the one I have, the Q, the W, the E, and R, which is with currently at default is 1, 2, blah 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 blah. I also changed the targeting for human players, to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For I can do a healing with Q, and then switch targets with like 2, since they're like really nearby in very urgent healing situations. I'm gonna reiterate this: when you remap a key, more than likely you have to remap another one. I think the ASDW were all once movement keys. I didn't need them in movement keys anymore, so I changed them. So now you can see this in action. You can see my armed warrior that I'm trying to level without heirlooms, because I've noticed that in Cataclysm you'll miss a lot of cool quests if you use heirlooms, and plus it's not as fun. Questing is rather easy now. Anyway, you can see how I move around with the mouse, and I can turn around using right and swiveling the mouse like I showed you in the beginning part of the video. While I'm on this subject, it's on my mind. As a new player, I would strongly disadvise you to start off as tanking and healing. I know this is kind of slightly unrelated, but it's not advisable to start off as tanking and healing when it's your first dungeon. The reason I say this is because you don't know what you're doing. More than, let's have somebody whispering in your ear, like you have an advanced player like your boyfriend or your girlfriend whispering in your ear about this game. You are not going to do a good job healing. Oh, you just watch me kind of glaze over the dungeon finder for these 20-minute queues, which is ridiculous. At any rate, I wanted to do a dungeon for y'all, but I couldn't wait that long. At any rate, if you need any more help, I'll be glad to provide. And I'm probably going to teach add-ons next, since you're probably going to need to know what recount and damage and gear score is, one point or another. So enjoy the gameplay and watch how I use my keybinding. And if you have any other comments, like your personal keybinding, what you find effective, please comment below and enjoy the rest of the video.